Okay, since it's a short daf today, let's go over a piece that we said yesterday, and it segues into another story that happens today. So let's begin on Nun Vav Amid Beis, smack in the middle of the page. Hahu Yenuka. There was this child, the Tana Avodas Kechavim B'Sheish Shane. He knew Masechta Avodah Zorah by the time he was 6. Boy Mine, they asked from him, Ma'u Lidroich Im Avodah Kechavim Begas. So as we spoke at yesterday and the day before, the upper platform of the wine press is called the gas, and it was the shaila if at that point in time it becomes the ayin nesach. If it does, then you won't be able to go ahead and be darich with the oived b'chavim begas. If on the other hand it only becomes yayin nesach at a later point in time, then you would. So they asked the shaila. So Amalahu, he said darichin you could. Darichin oived b'chavim begas. Fred the Gemara v'hakam nasech b'yadei. He's going ahead and taking his hands. He'll take his hand and he'll be menasech. In other words, this is like the Mishnah Achroina that Rav Huna quoted, that it's already at that point in time subject to being yayin nesech, not like our Mishnah that said only when it goes down to the bar. So the Gemara says, you went ahead and you tied his hands. So if he's just using his feet and not his hands, it's not considered yayin nesech. The Gemara v'kam menasech beregel. He's being menasech beregel. Says Gemara nisach beregel lo yishmei nisach. Okay, now right now, I wouldn't tell you exactly what this case is talking about. Is it talking about the gas of a Jew? Is it talking about the gas of a goy? If it's talking about the gas of a Jew, the heta of this baby, of this young lad, would be linyan shtia, drinking it. If it's speaking about what the gas of a goy, then there's no shaila you can drink it. Only b'shaila be isuri hana. So that would mean an nafkamina whose gas it is. Yisrael, you'll be able to drink it according to the heter of this young fellow, or according to if it's the gas of a goy, then the whole shaila is whether it's asa behana. Everyone would hold it's asa bishniya. Everyone would hold it's asa bishtiya. Okay, so now we have a second case. Let's wait, it gets on. Okay, Nasan, we're 4 lines from the bottom on Nun Vav on the base. Hahu uvda the havi bin nahadoi. There was a case in Nahadoi. The Dashu Yisrael, Ba'ivik Lahu Chamra, they went ahead and they went ahead and they trampled or pressed it together. And what's the shaila? Again, it would seem to be the shaila whether it's usher or not. B'shia Shmuel tilsa rigli, and Shmuel waited three regalim, right? My timer, why did he wait 3 regalim? So Rashi says, Shalhi miskabsin l'shmoya Trosha Hilchas Pesach and Pesach Hilchas Atzeres B'Seres Hilchas Chag B'Chag. So therefore, he waited to get other opinions as to what the shaila is over here. Now, we'll see what the shaila is in a second. But just to contrast it to the previous case of the child who was 6 years old, let's see the bottom places. Ahu uvda ben ardai, Amari, v'lehavi mamish dumya de uvda de yenuka. This case over here that transpired in Nardoi is not similar to the case of what? Of the young child. Dahu Yenuka lehavi shakav el mishri le behana. The whole shaila over there was whether it's mutter behana or not. Ki abar hoya shaloi bekechavim. Because the bar, this wine press, belonged to a guy. V'le shari el behana. And therefore, it's only shaila whether it's mutter behana or not. But bishtia, it would be asa. So that's the case that we just quoted quickly from yesterday, and we reiterated it today. It's speaking about the gas of the bar of a guy, and memela, it's yayin nesach, and the whole shaila is the mutter bahana or not, right? But bishtia be asa. Ushmuel, but the case of Nardoi, which you just mentioned, ushmuel lahater af bishtia kamar. Shmuel was speaking le'inyan matering l'shtia. Because it belonged to a Jew. So why are we bringing this in, fellas? Because in both situations, in both scenarios, the guy only touched it with his foot. That's the shaila, okay? But it's not similar in terms of the halacha, of implications. By the Yanuka, there was only asa b'shtia. The shaila was mutter b'hana or not. The case of Shmuel, where he was going ahead and waiting 3 regalim to figure it out, is speaking whether it's mutter l'shti or not, because it belonged to a Jew. Okay, that's the difference between the two. Now, so what happened in Shmuel's case? a Jew and a guy trampled using only their feet on grapes. It belonged to a Jew. We want to know whether it's mutter b'hana, mutter b'shti or not. Now the Gemara goes ahead and is trying to figure out what was bothering Shmuel. Why couldn't he give a psak that he wait 3 regalim to go ahead and get many opinions on what it was? The imish kachana, the Amid Aleph, the imish kachana tana, the asla kreb nasin. If he found a tana that would asla kreb nasin, Israina afilu bahana. That'd be us, and not only b'shtia, but afilu bahana. That's how you know guys who speak in l'shtia, right? That'd be us afilu bahana. Meaning, so the shiloh is b'shtia, and it's possible if the Allah is like Reb Nassin, who will meet in a second, it will be asa afilu bahana. The Tanya, madadai, the Ovikichavim can measure bein biyad bein beregel with his hand or his foot. Yimacha, you could sell it. You could sell it. Reb Nassin oimer. Biyad asa, beregel muta. Okay, so l'chayra, the shaila would be, right, if the guy went ahead and measured it, it would be asar afil bahana. And therefore Shmuel waited. Fred the Gemara, to me, which seems to be obvious, Reb Nassan never said that beregel it's asa. He only said biyad it's asa. So the Gemara comments right away, that can't be the reason Shmuel had trepidation in passing the shaila. Why? Eimudam Reb Nassan biyad beregel mi amar. Does he say what beregel? He doesn't say that. Mimela, if that was the whole shaila, as we just said, it's only speaking where the guy trampled it with his feet, and that's the common denominator between this case and the case of the Yenuka, where the trampling was with the feet. Then he went to have a shaila. This Reb Nassan said only biyad, but not beregel. See Rashi here. So the shaila was imishkachna tana da asa Reb Nassan yayin bana b'magoy shalev de kechavim afa pishlei nischay lavodas kechavim. Even if he wasn't libating it, he just touched it. Maga would be asa b'hana. The nisach lehavi issa b'hana. El al yidei shichshach. Nisach is only asa b'hana if they shake it for avodah Zorah. So if you find it, if you find Reb Nassan who asked it, then you'd have a problem. Even Maga, that he would ask it, it's the chumrah of Nassan that afilu Maga without nisach would be asa b'hana. And the case is madudai ayvikechavim liyayin shel Yisrael bein biyad shehichnas yadai uzroya letoichai l'shar kama yayin yesh boy. He stuck his hand in to go ahead and evaluate how much yayin was there, and I guess he could do it with his foot as well. Kama shoisim bekana shekoyim like they do with a kana. Like you have you have something of depth. So you have a stick with gradations on the stick, and you stick it in, you see it hits bottom. So they would use the hand and feet. So the Tanakam said Yimacher, the Kivin Lein Niskavel in Nasech, since his Kavana was the Menasech, it's Mutter Bahana. Mashen came like Reb Nassan, it would be Asa. Says the Gemara, when does Nassan say his din? He says his din only right by Biyad, but not Beregel. So since the Shaila of Shmuel guys was Beregel, there's no reason for Shmuel to have to wait so long to be pushed to the Shaila. So therefore, Shmuel must have been worried about something else. Ella, back in the Gemara, Baba Shmuel Shaila, the Mishkachana Tana the Shari Kireb Shimon, if there be a Tana who would go ahead and mata like Reb Shimon, a Sharia afilu bishtia. He'd mata afilu bishtia. Again, that was the Shaila, right? Beautiful. The Taisus in the bottom illuminates the sugya. It wasn't a Shaila whether it's Asabana. He wanted that Asabana, he knew it wasn't. He knew it wasn't. Because why? Because he wasn't Menasech, he wasn't Meshachek. What was the Shaila? Can I go to the other end of the spectrum and Mata Bishtia? Why should I be able to do it? Because if the halacha is like Rav Shimon, as we're going to see in a second, Afilu b'maga, right? It's Mutta, because you were Menasech. Rashi says, Rav Shimon, the Shori Maga Shaloi Dikechavim, Shaloi Niskavin Lenasech. As long as there was Miskavin Lenasech, it would be Mutta Bishtia, Kediktani Masnisan. Nafal bar. We're going to see a Gemara soon, a Mishnah. If the guy falls in the bar, v'Allah, and climbs out of the bar, and the bar is full of wine, Reb Shimon matir af b'shtia. He touched it. So what do you see? You see that like Reb Shimon, it would be mutter. So that was Shmuel's trepidation. Shmuel was the koyach to be matir is stronger than the koyach to say it's mutter b'hana and asa b'shtia. That would be easy to do. To say it's not only mutter b'hana, but I feel in mutter b'shtia. That he had to wait to see if anyone was masking enough that the halacha should be like Reb Shimon. If you have a maga without having lenasech, it would be permitted. If you have a maga without nasich, it would be permitted. How uvda the havi bebiram? There was a case in a town called Biram. The havi oivik yechavim, the havi kosolik bedikla. He was going up in a tree. Va'isi luliva bahade, and he was coming, and he went up and he got the lulav. You know, if you ever saw that the lulav grows in the middle of the tree. What happens with the palm trees? The branches grow in the middle, and over time they branch out. So when you see a spread branch of a palm tree, once upon a time that was a lulav. So we get our lulav from the middle of the tree. They spike up, and we get in the middle of the tree. That's where we get it from. So this guy went up. He went ahead. He got a lulav. But had the kanachis as he was coming down this tree, then naga beresha de luliva bichamra. The top of the lulav touched wine. Shaloi b'kavana. So Shaya Rav lizvune loiv dekechavim. Rav permitted to sell it to a guy. Now, obviously, Rav did not permit it to be drunk. He said, right, you have to go ahead. He didn't say that you could drink it. He said you could sell it to a guy. But obviously, the shtia, it would be asa. So, Amulei Rav Kahana, Ravasi LeRav, V'amarhu de Omar, Tinik ben Yoimai, hu oisa yayin nesech. So, how could a Tinik ben Yoimai who touches the wine, l'chayra, you make it yayin nesech? Yes? So, how could you matter it bahana? Pirish, guys, just like the guy with the lulav was not miskaven to touch the wine, a tinik ben yoimai that the geyser that has a lach of a zav certainly does not miskaven to touch the wine. Yet Rav said it's asa. Okay, what's the obvious teretz? So Amalahu says, right, Rav Eimod de Amra Anah. When do I say that what? That it's asa ben yoimai? That's bishtia. But behana mi Amar. Did I say it what? With hana? I didn't say it hana. I said that it can asa what with. It can ask the while with.
But here he never touched the wine. He just was shichuf.
What never touched the wine?
He physically never touched the wine. He did it with a lulav.
Okay, so there's a shaila about this. What Heshi's bringing up, the chayr, you could have brought another chilik, right? You could have said that one he didn't touch it directly, and the other one he touched it directly. That would be okay. There's a very long taisus over here. Heshi will go over the taisus with you later on in the share. But right now, for this point in time, we're going to go ahead and jump a little bit to the end of taisus. When you see the word where it says tinaik, go up a few lines. It says l'kach nir l'reveinu tam. You have it a few lines. You have the taisus tinaik. Count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines up, about 5 lines in. It says l'kach nir l'reveinu tam. The first word on the line is high. Everyone have it? Okay. L'kach nir l'reveinu tam. Girsis Rabbeinu Chananel. V'hilchas gedolos the bahag. V'chinimtza b'tshuvas hagoinim. D'legoris bereisha d'lulava. Ela noga b'chamra. Don't be goyris lulav. Be goyris that he touched it directly. Taisus is bothered by your question, Hesh. So he says that he touched it directly. Ulhachi asale Rav b'shtia. And therefore Rav asked it b'shtia. The havile maga oive kechavim begufay. Shalei b'kavana. Because the maga oive kechavim begufay shalei b'kavana. Okay, so that's the way that he's goyris. Now, since I wasn't going to bring this in, but since you brought it up, I will. In the middle of a okay, fellas, in addressing Heshi's point, and Taisus changed the girsa, the Yarideya kuf chaf dalid, sif chaf dalid. In Yarideya kuf chaf dalid, chaf dalid. Listen what the Mechaber says. Maga oive kechavim biyayin, ayidei davar acher, shaloi b'kavana. Kigoin shahaya yorid me'adekel ubiyodei luliv v'naga b'reish haluliv biyayin shlei b'kavana. That's our case. But he's goyris what, guys? He's goyris the luliv, right? He's goyris the luliv. That's the case. Or he's walking along and his beggar touches the wine. If he wants to touch it but he doesn't know it's wine, it's a davar acher. Muta afilu b'shtia. It's muta afilu b'shtia, right? So l'chayra, this is not like Rav at all. What Hagemara say? Hagemara said that, right? So the Mechaber, he doesn't again, there's a very, very long shachs here and Tazan over here. That's why it's very involved. But l'chayr, you have to get into, it's not like the Gemara. Anyway, the Ramah v'huadin in hichnis barzel lechavius. It puts a spigot in the chavius. Ayhaitzia shalei bekavana kamoish nesar. Ubizman hazeh the umais lav oivdei kachavim heim. Bizman hazeh that they don't serve avodah zara. Kol magan mikri shalei bekavana. Every maga of a goy is shalei bekavana. So guys, if you have a goy in your house and touches the wine, according to the mechaber, according to Ramah, you could sell it. You can't drink it, but you could sell it. You can't drink it, but you could sell it. Ulechein in naga biyayin al yidei davar acher, af al pishi yedei shu yayin, v'kiven liga boy muta afilu b'shtia. The mikri maga al yidei davar acher shalei b'kavana. Guys, since Bisman has said, listen what the kiddush is. You have two components, davar acher and kavana. So mashma from the Gemara, the gears that we have, and you need both. You need both, right? On the other hand, over here, says the Ramah, since Bisman has said they're not over Avodah Zorah, every kavana is shalei b'kavana, and the whole shaila is whether you have the component of davar acher or not. That's the lake two of the Ramah. The lake two of the Ramah is that what Bisman hazeh, when everything is what is they don't serve Avodah Zorah. Therefore, what? Therefore, afilu maga shalei b'kavana will be muta b'shtia. That's what he says. But don't leave your seats quickly. For adin im naga afilu biyadai b'leik v'kavana maga oishlayada shu yayin shari, says the Ramah, v'ein lefarsim dava b'fnei amaretz. Don't go ahead and be mefarsim this thing in front of amaretz. Don't be mefarsim it. So again, it's a low pashut, but Heshi brought up a very, very good shaila. The Ramah kept the girsa of the Gemara, Rashi's girsa. Taisus has a different girsa. Like Taisus, it would be asa. Like Taisus would be asa. Very, very gishmak. Okay. The Gemara now questions Rav. Rav said the maga of a kid, I feel is asa behana, right? Is asa b'shtia, muta behana, but asa b'shtia. That's what he's saying. The Gemara is going to bring a brisa, fellas. It's a difficult brisa, and the shach of the Gemara you have to halk up. Okay, I'll do the best I can. Says the Gemara, Eisivir of Sima bar Gufa Amrav Tinik ben Yomei Oisa Yayin Nesech, meaning le'inyan shtia. Le'inyan shtia. That's the way we learn. Eisei Rav Simi Bar Chia, the Rav directly to Rav. Okay, so now, fellas, what happens if you buy a guy as a slave? What's the halacha? He doesn't remain a guy. He gets the status of an Eved Kanani. Every day, guys, we make a bracha, Shlor Sani Goy, Shlor Sani Oved. Obviously, it's a different darga. An Eved Kanani is the halacha of a woman, is mechuyev like mitzvahs woman. Do you have to do anything for him to attain that status, or is it enough to buy it? And the answer is, of course not. You have to go ahead and have tefillah and milah. This is not geiris. This is to make him into a semi-Jew. You need tefillah and you need what? You need milah. Now, halokeach avodim min oivik yechafim. You buy a guy. Shemalu. He went halfway through the process. He had a milah, v'lei tavlu, but he didn't go in the mikveh taira. So that's one instance. Okay, you bought a guy. V'chein b'nei hashvachos. Now, this is a darger up, and it's very important to make this chilik. This is a shifra that you own. The shifra did not go to the mikveh yet, but she gave birth to a child. That child is automatically an Eved Kanani. However, since she didn't go to the mikveh, he requires going to the mikveh. Had she gone to the mikveh, all he would be required is milah. Now that she didn't go to the mikveh, you need both. So we have two people, but they're a little different. One, you bought an outright guy. The other one was born to your shivcha. Who is more shaykhs to Yiddishkeit, guys? The latter, correct? We're all asking. It's important. The latter person who was part of your shivcha, he has more shaykhs to Yiddishkeit. So in both these cases, whether it was one bought, or whether it was one that was born to a shivcha, in both cases, what's the halacha? The halacha is roikon, their roik, their spittle, umidrasan, and their whatever they step on. Guys, in other words, there's a halacha of a zav, bishuk, tameh. In other words, even if it's rishus harabim, where we say safik tumah rishus harabim, sveikai would be tameh. Here we're being goyz of vaday tumah. We're being goyz of vaday tumah, right? Vaday tar, excuse me. So safik tumah rishus harabim is tar, right? So, okay. Anyway, so that's the first clause. So two cases, guys. Two fellas, the bought guy and the born shifcha guy, one halachic area, roiku midras. Good. That's now. The imula, others say tamei, and others say tahar. Good. Yenoi. What about their wine that they touch? Gedolim oisa yayin nesech, kitanim ein oisa yayin nesech. Ve'elu hena gedolim, ve'elu hena kitanim. Gedolim yoidim. So usually, by Jewish law, we give a number. Here, we're discussing knowledge. Gedolim yoidim b'tiv avodas chamisha. They know what it means to be associated in serving avodah Zorah. Kitanim eidi yoidim b'tiv avodas chamisha. Okay. So now let's go back to the case. Two cases. One, we have two guys in two scenarios. I always go with the fingers. Two guys in two scenarios. First guy, bought guy. Second guy, shifcha. Now, the lashon is between the two, it said v'chein. Guys, that's important. This halacha, v'chein, whatever halacha applies to number one, v'chein is going to apply to number two. Yes? Good. Two venues. One, roik umadris. Two, yayin. So right now, if you go through the whole scenario, everything would be the same. That if it's a gadol, meaning he knows the halachas of avodah zorah, it's yayin nesech. If it's a cotton, not. Guys, a cotton ben yoimai, a tinik ben yoimai, does no the halachas of avodah zorah? No. Why does it say muta kashan rav? Rav, you said it's us. Here you have a kid. It's muta. Good. Guys, listen to the answer. It's not going back. It's going back on the second guy. Watch. Says the Gemara. Let's see it inside. Ketani mias. Nonetheless, you learned gedolim in ketanim loy kashan rav. So tirgma abenei shvachos. The heter of the v'chein going for the cotton is only on guy number two, not guy number one. So guys, look at the fingers. This halacha of yayin, right? Let's leave the rake for a second. This halacha of yayin, that you said the cotton is mutter and it's a kasha. Why? Because here you're saying on the bought guy, like Rav, it should be asa. Says Rav Nacham, it is asa. This heter of gedolim, of ketanim, is only going on what? On the second guy. It's only going on the second guy, right? It's only going on the second guy. The one that, well, and why? Why would you be more makel over there? It makes sense, because he was born to a shifcha that you owned. Guys, are you good so far? Guys, you can't move. Unless you know this, you can't move on. The Gemara gets more complicated. So if you all tell me you got it, I won't go over it again. So everyone give me a head nod. One more time, Benji. You want it one more time? Good. Two guys, right? Two guys. You got the bought guy and you got the shifcha. Good. Who is more mistaba to be quote unquote Jewish, close to Judaism? The second guy. Good. You have two halachas. Halacha of what? Of roik, halacha of wine. We're only interested right now in the second one, in the wine. Because what did we say about the wine? Wine for a cotton would be mutter. Wine for a cotton would be mutter. So now, going back for wine on the two scenarios, you got a kasha. Scenario number one, right? And scenario number two, in both cases, it's going to be mutter. So here you have a problem. What's your problem? Your problem is that Rav says that what? It's asa. The maga of a guy is asa. Here we see the maga of a guy, because he didn't have a tefillah yet, right? Is mutter. Says the Gemara, it's not going back on that scenario. It's going back. The het is going back on the bnei shivcha. There's more of a svara to be makel by a bnei shivcha than by what? Where the Rav say is then by a richtige guy. The same thing. You bought a guy, you bleibt the guy, right? It bleibt the guy. You didn't have a tefillah. Oh, bnei shivcha, which is closer to Judaism. That case, Rav, is that's what the price is going on. In Memela, the kash is not kash on Rav. Geschmack. Good. Let's continue on. So now, Fred the Gemara. Guys, what did we say? What does v'chein mean? Just like the halacha applies to number one, the bought guy, so too it applies to number two. How can you go ahead and make machilik, right? Says the Gemara, Aroiku midrasan. Guys, look what you just did. You just split it here and split it here twice. That's what you did. Guys, look, remember using the fingers. You split up the bought guy from the shivcha. Now you're splitting up. Well, this din of a chain that they're both the same is only going on the roik. But in Achinami, on the yayin, there's a separate din. On the yayin, there's a separate din. The yayin is on for the guy that's bought taketsasa for even a cotton. But where is it mutter? That would be what for a. That would be what for a. That would be for bnei shivcha. That's when it's mutter. So right now, Rav is held serve. The din of what? Of yayin for a cotton, which was mutter, which was a kashan rav, is not a kashan rav. That's speaking in the scenario what? Of the bnei mishpach, bnei shivcha, who is more shaykhis to Judaism. But the one that's not. It says v'chein mashma, the same halacha would apply to a borchu and a bnei shivcha. That's only the other halacha, the halacha of roik, not the halacha what of yayin, not the halacha of yayin. Okay. Fred the Gemara. Hanichel Amanda Amar Tameh. The Manda Amar that said that the Roik Umidris is Tameh. But there was a Yesh Aimrim over there, guys. What's the Yesh Aimrim? The Manda Amar Tahar. El Manda Amar Tahar Ma'ikul Ameimar. Guys, let's go through it now. Watch. Guys, look at me. Here's what you just told me. You just told me the V'chein is only going on the din of Roik, right? On the din of Roik. Roik was the first din. Now, Roik, there were two dinim. If you're telling me V'chein, that V'chein, Le'inyan, they're both, this was it. V'chein is going on the Roik. And the Roik is this, they're the same. That's good according to the Manda Omar, that it's Tameh. Why? Since by Yayin, there's a different halacha, you might think what? Le'inyan, Tameh, it's the same halacha. So I had to tell you, V'chein, Le'inyan, Tameh, Roik. But Loitamanda Amar, it's Tahar. You can't tell me the V'chein is in the venue what? Of Roik. It must be in the venue of Yayin. And you're back to the original question. Loitamanda Amar that it's Tahar, it's obvious, guys. Madach, it's Tahar by the Richtige Goy that was bought. Certainly it's Tahar what? By the Shivcha. And the Mele, you can't say the V'chein is going back on that. So back to the original question. The V'chein must be going on what? It must be going on the wine. So how can you tell me there's a chilik between the goy that was bought and the bnei shivcha is in wine? The v'chein is going on that, saying it as the same halacha, because we know, like the Madam Torah, it can't be speaking to the first scenario of reik. Gishmak. Okay, says the Gemara Vaita. Hakamash Malon. Here's the chiddush. Avodim dumya de bnei shvachos. Ma bnei shvachos malu v'lei tavlu hu da oisa yayin nesech. Right. The diak is, you know why it makes yayin nesech? It's because there was no tefillah. But malu v'tovelu loi, they don't make yayin nesech. Af avodim kain. So too avodim is like that. So guys, here's the chiddush. The chiddush is on a diak. You know what the v'chein is? Guys, forget the roik. The roik is tahar. The chiddush is the following. Ein achinami. The heter of a bas cotton, cotton is only on the bnei shivcha. It's not on the bot guy. What's the chiddush? Is the tefillah? You know why it's usher? Because there was a tefillah, and there was and no mila, or there was a mila and no tefillah. But let's say they were both, right? Let's say they were both. Then the one that was bought, that's more chomer, will have the same halacha as the bnei shivcha, the one that was born. Why is that a chiddush? Guys, why is that a chiddush? L'chayra, he's a yid. He had both. I mean, not a yid, he's this quasi yid. And the answer is, there's a deya that aside from a bought guy, aside from mila and tefillah, he needs 12 months. Kemash malon, you don't need 12 months. That's the chiddush. So again, beautiful. Rav is held serve. Rav only has a problem if the heter of cotton is going on yayin. It's not going on yayin. It's going on what? It's going on the bnei shivcha. That's the heter. It says v'chein, and we've proven the v'chein is going on the yayin part because it can't be going on the rope part like the man the omer that says it's mutter. That's what it did. So like the man the omer that says it's mutter, the v'chein is the opposite way. You're not learning from v'chein. You're not comparing the b'nei shivcha to what? To the guy that was bought. You're comparing the guy that was bought to the b'nei shivcha. Just like b'nei shivcha is mutter completely. Once there's what? A tefillah and a milah, so too the bought guy, there would be the same halacha. You wouldn't have to wait 12 months, and that's the chiddush. Geschmack. Says the Gemara inside. Let's see it. Okay. Says the Gemara. Hakamashman. Avodim dum yid b'nei shvachos. Ma b'nei shvachos malu v'lei tavlu hu do'isa yayin esech. But malu v'tavlu loi. Af avodim came. So to avodim are the same way. La fuki midr Rav Nachman am Shmuel. Dam Rav Nachman am Shmuel. Halokeach avodim min ha'ovid kichavim. The scenario number one. Af apisha malu v'tavlu. Says Rav Nachman in the name of Shmuel. Even though you are moil, even though you were tavel, oisin yayin esech asher tishka avodas kichavim mipiyim, until they forget, until it disappears the shame of Zorah from them. Kimash malon deloi. You don't need what? Them to forget. And what's the forgetting? Gufam Rav Nachman Shmuel halakeach avodim and ovid kichavim afa b'shemol v'tavlu oisin yayin esech asher tishka avodas kichavim mipiyim v'kama. Maybe Shub and Levi at shnei masach chodesh 12 months. Okay, let's stop right now and let's reiterate what we just said. Okay, let's put it together. Good. Now, Rav said it then. Said Rav, a tinok bas yoimoy makes yayin esed. Read the Gemara from a brisa. We have a brisa that says what? You're going ahead and you're buying an evet, or you're going ahead and you have a bnei shivcha that gave birth, but there wasn't a tefillah, it was missing something. Then what? The roik is tamei. We'll turn in a second. The roik is tamei, and the yayin is what? It depends. If it's a gadol, it's the yayin esech. If it's a cotton, it's not. Cotton's a problem. Says the Gemara, no, it's not going on the yayin. It's going what? It's going on the roik. For the Gemara, okay, great, good. So it's going Ivachain Katani. Yeah, that's going on the roik. Vachain the same din. In other words, Einachinami Inyan yayin. The din is different. The yayin's different by what? The one that you bought is asa, even it's a kitty, and the one that's mut is b'nei shivcha. Okay, and therefore it's not shvar and rav. Says the v'chein katani. Says the v'chein is not going on yayin because yayin what is not the same. The v'chein is going on roik because roik is the same. Good. Fred the Gemara like the mandam that roik is tahar. My iklamein. What's the v'chein? In other words, obviously the v'chein means it's telling me halacha. If they're both the same, then what are you telling me? It's tahar. And for the Gemara, it's telling me a din in yayin esech, but it's not telling me a din like you thought it's done. It's not telling me v'chein like we thought that the bnei shivcha is like the board. It's the opposite. The board is like bnei shivcha. What's the chiddush? Bnei shivcha. The reason why you can't use it because there wasn't tefillah. But if there was a tefillah and a milah, then you could. Hu adina board oivik echavim. There is what? It's enough tefillah and milah, and you don't need an extra step like Rav Nachman in the name of Shmuel. And the extra step is 12 months. K'mash malan that the ones who bought are like what? Are the ones that b'nei shivcha. You don't need 12 months. You're totally good. Okay, very good shmak. We can have the same Gemara with a little different pitch of this, but once you got this Gemara, I think I'm feeling good about it. I think you'll be fine. It's mamish. It's the same. It's the same. You know, once you have the same gedarim, it's very very good shmak. Okay, Esivei now. Esivei Rabbi Rav Nachman. Halakeich avodim min oivik kechavim. The same brisa. Shemalav leitavlu. V'chein b'nei shvachai shemalav leitavlu. Roikin umidrasan amid beis b'shuk tamei. V'imila tahar. Same brisa as before. Yeinam gedoylim oisin yayin nesech. Kitanim ein oisin yayin nesech. Elohin gedoylim ve'elohin kitanim. Gedoylim sheyoidim b'tiv oives kechavim m'shamshecha. They know the ropes. And kitanim sheyoidim b'tiv oives kechavim m'shamshecha. Kitani mihas. Nonetheless, you learned. Malu v'lei tavlu in dafka. The reason why it's yayin nesech is because what? There wasn't a tefillah. Mola v'tavloi, but if there was a tefillah, loi. So what do you see? You don't need the next step, guys. Guys, why did Rav Nachman say in the name of Shmuel? Guys, why did Rav Nachman say in the name of Shmuel? You need 12 months. You see from over here, Mila v'tefillah, that will be enough. You don't need 12 months. Kasha on Shmuel. Says the Gemara, Tir Gemara abnei shvachos. It's going on b'nei shvachos. In other words, ein achinami, guys, look, the din of mila tefillah would only apply to the second category, but the first category, in addition to mila, in addition to tefillah, you would require 12 months. And this is not a kasha on Shmuel. Again, it's the same dialogue, different people, and different halacha. In halacha before was halacha yayin nesech. Here is if it's yayin nesech because you need the thing. So again, one more time. You told me that if there's a tefillah, you told me if there's a tefillah, that's enough. Says the Gemara, no, it's not going on the guy you bought. It's going to Bnei Shivcha. But the guy you bought, it will be, you need, aside from Mila, aside from Tefillah, you would need 12 months. That's what the Gemara wants to ask. Fred the Gemara, they have the exact same din. So how can you tell me there's a chilik between the one bought that you need 12 months and the Bnei Shivcha that you don't? Says the Gemara, you know what that's going on the V'chein? It's going on the Roik and the Midris, right? That's the same. But in Nachinami, the Din Yayin Esech is different, requiring the same kasha. Hakamashmalon avodim dumyu b'nei shvachos. Va b'nei shvachos gedolim hu de'oise yayin esech. Kitanim ein oise yayin esech. Af avodim nami gedolim oise yayin esech. Kitanim ein oise yayin esech. Lafuke midirav the amarav tinik ben yoymei oise yayin nesech. Kamashmalon deloi. You might think that what it does, kamashmalon not. So in other words, the comparison v'chein, guys, is that here's the v'chein, not le'inyan tefillah, mila, and needing 12 months. Not the same. What's the same? That by wine, if you're a cotton, no matter what, whether you're bought or you're bnei shivcha, the cotton will not make yayin nesech. This is opposed to the shita of Rav, who said what you would make yayin nesech. Again, so this is, if you go paskin like Shmuel, guys, there's a tremendous heter over here. Okay, so if you look at Tosfos, the Tosfos la fuke mid the Rav da amatinik ben yoimai. Let's do a little bit at the beginning of Tosfos. Hash the chazinon, the last Tosfos on the page. Hash the chazinon de la hai lishna the amila tahar Shmuel leslay the Rav da amatinik ben yoimai. Guys, Shmuel, guys, lemaskana, guys, figure it out. The last thing we're saying is whether you're bought or you're a bnei shivcha. Le'inyan, guys, look at me. Le'inyan making yayin nesech, it depends whether you need what? Whether you need 12 months. But le'inyan, the din of cotton, it's all the same. It's muta. So if you're paskin like Shmuel, like the second lashon, comes out a tremendous thing. If you're going to say what, guys? Just like a baby that's without kavana, because she has no kavana, doesn't asa, so to a goy without kavana when asa. This is where the halacha of the Shulchan Aruch that I brought in for Heshi came about. Is that over here it's going to be the same thing. So let Tosfos realizes. Dim came le'asyu hamasisin kavase el islay l'shmuel the tinik ben yoymai eino isay yayin nesech umuter af b'shtia v'ua din ketanim shen yoidim b'tiv avodas kechavim uben yoymai lav dafka. It has nothing to do with age. It has to do with what, guys? It has to do with knowledge of the ropes of avodas kechavim. No matter how old you are, if you don't know, but if you touch it, it'll be mutter b'shtia. And an eved that's a gadol is going to have to wait 12 months to get rid of the avodas chavim, to forget it. The like Rav, and the Bal Hilchas Gedolos is not paskin like Rav, but tinik ben yaimai. For Rachnami pasik Shmuel, the beinin shikua, you need 12 months. Kidin Farish Rabbi Shua ben Levi, the Moshe, Upamachas Matzari, Kasib B'Taisefta, Aloim Dem L'fnei Rabbeinu Tam, Shepasku the Halacha Kishmuel, Hoyel V'Sav Rabbi Shua ben Levi Kavasei. Now Rabbi Shua ben Levi was Gedoyle Amoraim. The halacha is like him. I feel b'makom Rabbi Yochanan, and since Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Shua ben Levi is going the sheet of Shmuel, the Shmuel came afterwards, but l'chayra he's agreeing with him. Then guys comes out a tremendous chiddush that as long as the guy does not know b'tiv gittin, b'tiv avodah Zorah, and he touches the wine, it will be mutter b'shtia. Forget about it, not. It'll be mutter b'shtia if you pass like Shmuel. V'sava Rabbi Shua ben Levi kavase v'halach Rabbi Shua ben Levi legabe Rabbi Yochanan. The kol shekain legabe Rav Shmuel, who will let, because we pass like what Rabbi Yochanan connected Rav and Shmuel. Shein halach k'moisam legabe Rabbi Yochanan. So guys, if we pass, if Rabbi Shua ben Levi overrides Rabbi Yochanan, then Rabbi Shua ben Levi will override Rav Shmuel, since Rabbi Yochanan overrides Rav and Shmuel. So therefore, if the halach is in conjunction with Shmuel, if a ben yomo and lav dafka ben yomo, It's any child that does not know, any age that does not know the halachas of Avodah Zorah, the shtia will be mutter. V'gam b'seidet hanoyim b'amaroyim ksivis yad harav agadol Rabbi Yosef toiv olim poisik halacha k'maiseh b'chol makom. V'gam Rabbeinu Tam hevi harbe rayas al zeh v'kulam nitchu, and he brings a lot of rayas and he pushes them all off. V'oid posek Rabbeinu Tam kilishna da'amar roikun midrasayin b'shuk tahar. Why? Why? Because he's going like the first lashon. The b'shal say from holach acha mekel. L'fis oisha lashon pligi shmuel adarav b'tinik ben yomo. V'oid pirish Rashbam b'rivon b'shem Rashi shekasa b'shuvas hagoyinim ki b'zman hazeh in the Middle Ages ein issa hana b'magia oivet kechavim b'yayin ki oivet kechavim shel achshav, because the goyim now ein regilim l'nasech la'avodas kechavim v'chashuvim kein yoidim b'tiv avodas kechavim m'shamsheha v'avle ketinik ben yoimoi v'alzeh anu soimchim ligvois yeinois ha'avodas kechavim b'chaveseinu. We collect the wines of Avodah Zorah for Achayvim. Why? Because it's not Asa Bahana. Good? So you see the Rabbeinu Tam is passing like Rav. It's not a shail again. Guys, like Shmuel, you'll be able to drink it. Like Rav, you won't be able to drink it, but you mut the Bahana. That was the Amid Aleph. So Bizman Hazeh, how do you hold like? Tremendous nafkamina. Guys, listen. If you hold like Shmuel, Bizman Hazeh, you'll be able to drink any wine. You'll be able any wine, any kosher wine that you bought. Okay, we're not speaking about produced wine. Any wine that you bought, your goyta comes to your house, and you leave the bottle open, and she touches the bottle. So, l'chayra muta bahana, it is according to everybody. If you're passing like Shmuel, it's muta b'shtia. If you're passing like Rav, it's also b'shtia.
This is very nogea for the Balei Tosas and Rashi. That this was their business.
Yes, it's and indeed, Rashi was a winemaker. Indeed, you're right. But you permitted it. Afilu b'shtia, right? That it should be mut afilu b'shtia. Dam Rav Shmuel pasuk b'shem Avi Imecha, the father of your mother, which is Rashi. Which is Rashi. This lay the eno oisi yain esach leser af b'shtia. V'heishel Rabbeinu Tam. He had Talmud Shekosav Nibli made a mistake. So again, basically, if you go through the whole Tosfos, which I didn't, but you get the idea that this is the going back and forth, and that's what we brought in today. That's why we brought in today. We'll bring it in again. That's why we brought in today. In Yeridea Kuf Chav Dalid. The wrong Caleb. It's a bad simon. I took the other one. But who had been imnoga afilu biyadoi beloy kavanas maga. If the guy touches it without thinking he's touch it, he didn't know his wine. Shari, it'd be permitted for drinking. You should not go ahead and be mefarsim this dava l'fnei ha'aretz, as I state in Shulchan Aruch. But this is the Indian kavana. This is not exactly the same thing over here. This is speaking whether he's mechaber to touch it or not. Okay, we'll stop over here.